Darkcast Network. Out of the shadows comes the best of indie podcasts.
Welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast, where two lifelong horror fans talk all things horror. Pour yourself your favorite drink and hang out. Here are your hosts, Josh and Jake.
Hey guys, welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And on today's exciting episode, what are we going to be discussing?
We are discussing 1985's The Stuff, directed by Larry Cohen.
Enough is never enough. Enough is never enough. This movie comes with an amazing soundtrack. So if you guys are interested, go look it up on YouTube. It's fucking fun. Before we get into this episode, what we would like to let anyone new to our podcast know.
As always, like and subscribe on YouTube.
Pretty please.
You can also find us on Spotify. Mm-hmm. We're on Apple, as well as Google. Mm-hmm. Also Instagram. J Squared Horror Podcast. Link tree in the bio. New episodes every Thursday.
Every Thursday, two lifelong horror fans decide to get together and talk all things horror. With this podcast, we would like to be the most original horror podcast out there, meaning we haven't found anything like us ever. Again, before? Ever, period. Don't need any other words. We like to include ourselves and our fans in horror movies and discuss life lessons and situations through horror movies as best we can.
Yeah.
We don't just review movies. We don't just go through movies for the most part. We try to do something with our own little twist on it, and it's a lot of fun. So if you like talking about horror movies versus just learning facts about horror movies, keep listening because this is going to be a lot of fun for you.
This is the podcast for you.
This is the podcast for you. You know why? Because enough is never enough of the J Squared Horror Podcast. With the mention of all of our social medias that we're on, we're also available at www.jsquaredhorrorpodcast.com. Jake, let the people know why that's important.
You can stay up to date and you can talk to us.
You can easily communicate with us. You can find little clips. You can find all of our social medias if you're not on there, or you can just find links to our episodes from there so you do not have to go to any social media platforms. Right now, we are still trying to get a Would You Rather episode together. We do not have enough Would You Rathers to do a complete episode yet. So remember, guys, if you're at all interested, let us know some Would You Rathers. If you're not interested, let us know you're not interested. So then we don't have to worry about waiting for
Yeah,
them.
we won't do it.
Yeah, if you guys aren't interested in it, let us know. Or I guess by not getting them, we should know that maybe they're not interested.
And the comment, not interested.
We'll know then, or we're just going to keep bugging you every week to give us Would You Rathers. We have gotten some, so we can do maybe a little one, but we'd really like to do all fans, not ours. So don't forget to do that. Also, if you go to our link tree or you go to www.paranormalitymagazine.com, you can get a copy, either physical or online digital, of the most crazy paranormal magazine that has ever existed, in my opinion. Paranormality Magazine covers all things strange, unusual, and paranormal. If you use code J2Horror at checkout, you will receive 10% off of your purchase, whatever it is from their website. Also, if you go there, you can vote for us to be the number one paranormal podcast on their page. That would be awesome. It's great publicity for us. All you guys have to do, go there, follow the links to voting for your top 10 horror podcast, and type our name in there 3 times, unless you have other ones that you like, but please us first. And then we can potentially be in the next magazine issue as the number one paranormal podcast. That would be amazing for us, for people to see, and for us to promote. On our end, that would be super great. Plus, Paranormality Magazine has been great to us, so anytime you guys check them out, that's good for them as well. So, this movie, The Stuff, from 1985.
Yes.
Yes! I didn't even ask this time. I mean, I do kind of wait around for your approval.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I did not ask.
At first, I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah. You were just gonna let me sit here
Yeah.
and wonder. This brings, if you guys have been a fan of the podcast for a while now, or you're just new to it, we absolutely love talking about corny 80s horror. It is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, whether it's like slasher-esque or some weird white goop that comes from the earth that takes over the world. It's crazy. It's kind of like the Blob. And like Halloween 3 season of The Witch had a baby, and then they just came out with this movie.
I agree with that.
So I was wondering. I had to look it up while I was watching this movie because I was like, this shit is set just like Halloween 3 season of The Witch. I was like, this. I mean, from the factory to the town to like everything surrounding this movie gave you very much Halloween 3 season of The Witch vibes.
Yeah.
Well, did you agree?
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Halloween 3 season of The Witch came out first. I checked. It was like 80, let's say like 3-ish.
Okay.
We covered it. We should know. But it was definitely that vibe. Definitely that era of horror, which kind of plays into that one episode we did about, what's it called? You know what I'm trying to say here.
I
Influential
don't.
horror
Okay,
films. Yeah. So clearly, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch has some influence in the 80s. Not saying that it's the best, because it's not. Not saying this is the best, because it's not. But this movie is a lot of fun, and the characters in it are not even relatable, but you enjoy it. It is so ridiculously corny that you enjoy almost every second of it. I think it comes in a little over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Maybe like, I think it was like 86 minutes. 20, 30. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. 40. It was longer than expected, but not too long to where you feel like you have to take a break or you're bored. Did you feel the pacing of the movie was okay?
Yeah, I feel like some parts it jumps like too fast.
Yeah, it's definitely the pace in that sense. Yeah. Does it make sense how people got where they got quickly? Nope. Does this movie give a shit?
No,
Nope.
because like as soon as it starts, it's like it goes instantly like
I paused it. I was like, did this shit like start
forward?
like
Yeah.
later on?
Yeah.
Because it's just like these two old dudes, or one old dude just like,
Like,
I'm
boom,
gonna
stuff.
taste it. Would you taste
No.
random white jizz out of the earth?
I would not.
Yeah, like nothing. And it's just, I don't know if you guys have ever had a fluffernutter sandwich. It's a marshmallow fluff and peanut butter sandwich. I always did crunchy peanut butter because crunchy peanut butter is superior to all other forms of peanut butter. Come at me. Yeah, go ahead and hit the comments now, people. I love crunchy peanut butter.
Crunchy peanut butter?
I fucking love crunchy peanut butter, dude.
Oh,
You're a fucking creamy peanut butter guy?
I prefer it smooth and creamy. Yeah.
Fucking lame. There's no fun in your sandwich. There's no crunch in your sandwich. Let me guess, you put chips in your peanut butter and jelly?
No.
You just eat a soft ass peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Do you do that?
I don't put chips in mine, but the crunchy of the nuts is quite
I don't
nice.
need crunchy. If I wanted crunchy, I'd eat like cookies or something.
You're eating what are you going to eat, a cookie sandwich? Are you going to put fucking 2 pieces of bread and a cookie in there?
I mean, they have cookie sandwiches.
They have ice cream sandwiches.
Ice
that are
cream.
cookies and
but
ice
it's
cream.
Cookie is the outside, though.
Yeah, but
So technically,
you don't
it
want
is
a
a cookie
crunch
sandwich.
in your sandwich?
No.
What about lettuce?
Unless-
Ham and cheese.
Unless my bread is like toast, like from Zeros,
Yeah, like a nice crunch then.
I'll take that.
That's the only time you want to crunch.
If the bread is toasted, yes.
Not lettuce crunch?
Or if
nothing?
there is bacon on it.
Ooh, bacon's a good crunch.
Yeah.
That's the only time you really do need a good crisp piece of bacon.
Yeah,
'Cause with breakfast, you need a nice wiggly piece of bacon.
I don't need crunch in my PB&J.
Oh,
Speaking of which, how do you make yours?
my peanut butter and jelly?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, crunchy peanut butter, right?
Okay, besides that.
I lather on a good helping of crunchy peanut butter,
Okay.
right? Then I put my jelly on there.
Okay.
A good amount. So
Okay.
back in high school, a girl used to tell me I made the world's greatest peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
With that crunchy shit?
That crunchy shit, the amount of each, it's not too much. You're not, that shit's not stuck to the roof of your mouth, which is what you creamy peanut butter fuckers deal with.
Yeah.
Because the fucking bread and the fucking peanut butter create concrete on the top of your mouth that you're then
No. So
trying to get off of there.
I get my bread out.
All right, 2 pieces of bread.
I do peanut butter on one side,
Yep.
peanut butter on the other side.
Oh, you double down on the peanut butter.
And
So
then
that
jelly in the
shit
center.
is legitimately stuck on the top and bottom of your mouth because you're a fucking lunatic.
And then jelly in the center.
No.
And a small glass of milk.
A good glass of milk. Now, people there's something interesting that you said that, because I just saw a picture online about how if you watch somebody drink milk in a movie, they're the bad character because it shows that they don't give a fuck about societal norms. Like a grown man drinking a plain glass of milk shows psychotic tendencies.
With nothing else.
Yeah, just like,
Okay.
so think about it. Like, it's the movie, it's definitely No Country for Old Men. It's the one where his eyes are kept open. It's from like the 70s. They have like the bats and the funny outfits and the hats and he has like makeup on his eye.
Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
There's a couple other ones where it's like fucking lunatics are just drinking glasses of milk. And it's like that's actually a thing in cinema. Where like if you see somebody drinking a plain old glass of milk, now peanut butter and jelly were normal. That's fine. You want a glass of milk with your spaghetti? Some people think it's weird. It's kind of fucking delicious. But
how is that delicious?
Listen, this is not the food podcast, okay?
We're talking about the stuff, so yeah, it is.
You know,
right now,
right. Yeah, it's true. But yeah, dude, sometimes
that's the weirdest fucking.
Sometimes a glass of milk with Italian food just makes me happy. Pizza can do it. Lasagna, bruh.
You're eating pizza and milk?
Not anymore. I have before. I'm still stuck on the fucking fact that you like creamy over crunchy.
Yeah,
I know you guys don't like hitting the comments as much as we may like you guys to, but right now is a good point to hit the comment section on either Instagram or YouTube, however you listen to us, and let us know, is crunchy peanut butter or creamy peanut butter your guys' favorite? This isn't anything about horror. We just need to know what you guys think, crunchy versus creamy.
I don't want nuts in my sandwich.
I have been a crunchy peanut butter guy for the majority of my life. Like a fluffernutter, which is the marshmallow fluff stuff, which is what we originally were talking about because this movie's called Stuff. And it looks like fucking marshmallow fluff.
I've never had that.
Dude, what? You've never had a fluffernutter?
I'm not a big sweets person.
Bro, it's marshmallow.
I never had a s'more. Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean you've never had a s'more?
I've never had a s'more.
You watched The Sandlot as a kid, and you said, I'm good.
I thought, oh yeah, I'm good.
What? I am sitting next to a clinically now diagnosed sociopath because he just said.
And I also do drink
like
just fucking milk. I do.
Guys, I might need help.
There's nothing like
I might need rescuing.
Like a cold glass of milk.
Oh my gosh, that just brought me. So I don't know how I have so many random milk facts right now, considering I do a horror podcast and most episodes I have 0 facts about horror. This one in particular, but I got milk facts on lock right now.
Okay.
There was a realtor recently who got fined $20,000 for being caught on camera in someone's house taking a swig out of their milk jug. That was a $20,000 swig of milk.
Well, you shouldn't do that. So
no, you should not swig out of milk.
I understand that.
But also, did you know that scientists are now saying that skim milk is the best way to get rehydrated whilst being dehydrated?
Yeah, I see that because skim milk tastes like fucking nothing.
It does, but also it's better than like water, Gatorade, like electrolytes and stuff because of like whatever is left over in that.
So I've been cutting the grass all day. I'm going to come inside and get a
can you
cold
imagine
glass of skim milk.
Drinking a cold glass of skim milk? Or like you're like running a marathon and you know they got the people with the cups and they're just handing out
glass
jars
milk.
of milk. Like the glass containers of milk. So yeah, just fun milk facts for you guys today because crunchy
disgusting.
peanut butter is superior.
I saw somewhere that the
Look, I have both right now.
So you have both.
I do have
All right. Then.
Okay, but the only reason I have creamy peanut
So
butter
you
is for my
know-
breakfast smoothie, you fucker.
You still use it though.
For my breakfast smoothie, you don't need to liquefy the crunchy peanut butter. That's a wasted step.
Which do you have more of?
Oh, definitely the crunchy. Because I make a breakfast smoothie every day. I don't eat a peanut butter and jelly every day.
Hold on. So you use a smooth for your smoothie?
That makes sense.
That you have every single day?
Yeah.
So you have more of that.
I have less because I use it every day.
Which do you consume more?
Oh, Jif. Or the crunchy Jif.
The smooth.
Blue lid Jif.
The smooth Jif.
No, blue lid Jif. That's crunchy.
So you have the smooth
For my
every
smoothies
single
every
day,
morning.
but
Yeah.
still use more of the crunchy? How's that possible?
Well, no, you're asking the wrong questions.
I'm asking, which one do you consume more of? Whether it's eating or drinking your bullshit smoothies.
It's not a bullshit smoothie, first of all,
is
motherfucker. It is not a bullshit smoothie,
Which one
first
is
of
it?
all. I unfortunately consume more creamy peanut butter for my smoothie purposes. But listen to the name of the drink that I'm drinking. It's called a smoothie. Why am I going to make my blender work extra hard to make the crunchy peanut butter smoothie when I have smoothie peanut butter?
People put nuts in their smoothie. They put berries in their smoothie. They're not all soft.
No, they're not all soft. But
It's the
you don't
job
need to add
of a
the
blender
extra, you don't need to add the extra
chop shit
stress to my poor little blender to chop up those peanuts. I have creamy peanut butter.
You should.
Creamy peanut butter is good for smoothies and smoothies alone because it's smooth.
My last milk statement, though.
Yes.
I heard somewhere that they said that for those Got Milk commercials,
Yeah.
that was a fake milk mustache?
Yeah, they weren't drinking milk. Those people probably didn't even drink milk. That was all a lie. Milk is not that good for you.
I remember as a kid.
Did you always want like the Larry Bird one?
I tore out, it was Mia Hamm. I Got Milk like in a
Soccer
magazine.
player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I taped it on my wall. I had
So
no
your
idea.
love for women and milk came from the exact same poster.
Yeah. I had no idea they were fake mustaches.
Yeah, dude, they're probably just like the stuff, honestly. You guys see that? That's called full circle. We didn't even plan that. Yeah, those were all like, we're the only mammal that drinks another animal's milk.
Yeah, we need it.
No, we don't.
You don't need milk?
No.
So we're going to put in your cereal.
I mean, yes. Like
all right, then.
dietary,
You
what
need milk.
we eat, we need milk. But there's also almond, oat, pistachio, coconut, rice.
Yeah, milk.
There's all sorts of milks.
Rice milk?
Yeah, rice milk is a real thing. I
Is
used
that
to
good?
make it with lots. Fuck no, it's gross. Only milk alternative I do with my smoothies again, almond milk.
These smoothies are just...
You want to know? Would you like to know what my breakfast smoothie is?
What?
All right, it is a couple scoops of creamy Jif. Right.
Okay.
It's a quarter cup of old fashioned oats.
Okay.
A banana broken in half because my blender's kind of a bitch.
Do you eat oatmeal?
No, I don't really eat oatmeal.
Good. Okay.
I can't make oatmeal the perfect consistency every time, so I get pissed off. If I could get oatmeal the perfect consistency every single time, I would make it.
Is
Sometimes
oatmeal
runny,
porridge?
No, porridge is porridge. Oatmeal's oatmeal.
What's the difference?
Porridge is like a grain of some sort, I think.
Okay.
Well, I guess oats are a grain.
They are.
Maybe we should start a food podcast.
We should.
But then I do a little bit of almond milk and a little quarter scoop of Nesquik for a little bit of chocolate. Because I read the back of my chocolate syrup that I use on my ice cream sundaes. It's fucking terrible for you. But Nesquik is pretty much ground cacao. It's cocoa.
Okay.
And it's not that bad for you. Dude, you start your morning off. You start a glass of water, right? As soon as you wake up, first thing you do, grab a Liquid Death out of your fridge. We're now doing an ASMR podcast. And then, right, once you get that milk on your system, because I did some research, and the first thing you should put in your body is water, so you, like, lubricate your shit up.
Okay.
Right? You should protect your tum-tum from, like, bad shit. And, like, us caffeine drinkers, I know you're not.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we'll just put, like, acidic-ass black coffee on our stomachs, and it's really bad for you.
That sounds terrible.
So you do a glass of water, then you do that smoothie. You're good till, like, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
Like, you are fucking fueled.
All right.
But my question is, if you wouldn't even be concerned about the stuff
I wouldn't.
because you don't like sweets.
Yeah. I would never touch it.
Yeah, but what if, like, what would the stuff have to be for you for it to be a concern? Like, what thing can you not help but consuming?
Orange juice.
Okay, so that is true. I knew that. You should drink water before your orange juice in the morning.
I would never do that.
It's super acidic and it's messing up. Do you ever have bad reflux? Acid reflux?
All the time.
That's because of the orange juice. You're not protecting your body with a glass of water first.
I'll live. I'm going to eat some crunchy peanut butter. That might help too.
Asshole. It might help because it's superior than creamy. But, so, if the stuff came orange liquid, you'd be fucked if it was orange juice.
Immediately. Even if you told me to not drink it, I'm like, what is orange juice?
It can't be that bad.
What's the worst that could happen?
So, as a kid, did you like the Sunkist or like just OG orange juice?
Sunkist. Sunny D.
Tango?
Tang.
Tang.
I drank Tropicana.
Okay.
Nature's Own.
Okay.
The little Dollar Tree Donald Duck orange juice. I used to love that.
Dollar Duck orange juice.
Yeah.
Damn right. Comes in those perfect sized containers.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But now, I mean, I'll drink anything. If it says orange juice, where this little
Dude.
the old school one like the can orange juices. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a freezer full of those.
Just
Yeah. Fuck them up.
it's like an icy almost. Just
Fuck them up.
You know that's crazy. That we just spent 20 minutes of our stuff episode on nothing stuff related.
Yeah, that is what we did towards the last minute and a half.
38 seconds at best. It works. I mean, this is an original podcast, an unscripted podcast. So you guys just buckle in and comment what you guys think about all that shit we just said. But the stuff is some oozy goozy shit that comes out of the earth that Jake would be fucked if it was orange and tasted like orange juice.
It looks like Cool Whip.
No, it looks like Fluffernutter.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, it looks like Cool Whip then.
Yeah.
It does look like Cool Whip. Do you like Cool Whip on your pie?
Not a big pie person.
You don't like any sweets.
Not really, no. But if I do eat it.
If you look at me, you know that I'm a sucker for sweets.
If I eat pie, I like pumpkin pie.
Okay, let the fans know. Go ahead. Please. Please let them know.
Know what?
You know what?
I don't know
Who
it.
made you the best piece of pumpkin pie you've
Oh,
ever
you
had?
did, yeah.
I'm just saying.
That was some good pie, actually.
I'm just saying, dude.
And I didn't think
put a little Cool Whip on there for you.
I didn't know you could bake.
I didn't either.
But it was good.
And then I tried to make a pecan pie. It turned into a
You
literal
told me
sheet
about
of
that, yeah.
concrete. My butcher knife couldn't get through that
Oh,
shit.
and I like cheesecake.
Ooh, a good cheesecake is
I
good.
love cheesecake, yeah.
So if the stuff was a cheesecake, you'd be in a little bit of trouble?
A little bit.
A little bit.
But-
orange juice for sure.
But with my cheesecake, I'll have a glass of milk as well.
if milk was the stuff, Jake would be in trouble too, I guess.
I mean, I do like milk.
I guess so. 2% whole,
I'm more of a 2% kind of guy.
you're weak. Okay. Cool.
You drink
Fucking
fucking
weak.
almond milk.
For my smoothie.
You still drink it.
I don't. Yeah, I do technically.
All
drink
right,
it.
then.
But if I go to the store, I get Lactaid whole milk
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
because it's easier on my tum-tum. I think I'm just proving to all of my fans that I'm a walking contradiction and just a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, do I love sweets and Cool Whip and crunchy peanut butter?
Oh, boy.
I draw the line at lactose in my milk, okay? Because it makes me a little gassy, all right? Yeah, I spend the extra $1 on the quart or half quart, whatever that shit, the blue red container of
Yeah.
Lactaid milk.
Okay.
I will get the off-brand, though. I don't have to go name brand Lactaid.
Yeah. When it comes to juice, I'm going to brand this.
No.
As long as it's orange,
Yeah.
I'll drink it.
So if the stuff was orange juice, you're fucked. You're in trouble.
Yeah. What about you?
I think everybody knows it. It doesn't take much for my
So-
fat ass to get
So
in
if
trouble.
the stuff was just the
If
stuff.
the stuff was the stuff, there's a fat fucking chance I'm just eating that.
Okay.
Especially like, you get home from a long day
People
at work.
are eating it out of the containers.
Bro, just like it's just crazy to me. And that this movie it's kind of interesting because it kind of shows you commercialism in the United States of America
Yeah.
and how easily brainwashed we are as people, which you guys probably now know I am too because of my smoothies and my milk choices.
It made me think of They Live a little bit.
It makes you think of They Live,
Yeah.
obviously Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, and obviously The Blob just because of later on like what the fucking stuff does.
Yeah.
But there is it's gonna suck to say this because I do enjoy this movie and I'm going to buy a stuffed t-shirt.
Okay.
But there's no originality in this movie whatsoever.
Yeah.
Everything had been done for sure.
Yeah.
And the only difference is that it was more of that like commercialism, like how easily brainwashed people are if it's just an enjoyable product.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I want to say this movie is based in that era, so it would be the 80s, which if anybody knows that was around in the 80s, that's how the world was. Like malls were just becoming a thing. Commercials were very pushed towards, easy, fast, quick. It doesn't care if it's healthy per se. The world we live in today, people are absolutely psychotic about the shit they're putting into their bodies versus back then.
Which is good.
So I don't think the stuff would be as big of an issue today as it was in the 80s.
It would be if it was a dietary thing.
Yeah, if they sold that shit as like a quick weight loss journey, whew, that shit is flying. And if
Yeah.
it worked, I can't guarantee, even if I knew that the shit was going to fucking make me go crazy, that I wouldn't like to look cute for at least a day or two.
Well, when they eat it, they mention later how they don't eat sleep.
Yeah,
they
like
have tons of energy.
yeah, it makes them better. So it is kind of, I guess, like a dietary. It's like it's like gooey Adderall, I guess, because that's a thing that people love. Makes you fast as fuck, boy. I don't know what this episode has turned into, but it's not at all how I imagined it.
Me neither.
Whatsoever. We have mentioned the movie 3 times, and it's just side stories left and right from the shit. If you haven't seen the stuff, it's available on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Also, I saw you can buy the stuff. Like
something is
like a container.
Dude, why didn't you buy me some of this stuff, bud?
I don't trust that stuff. No pun intended.
I would try it. Can we get some and just do it on an episode? Me and you?
It's probably just fucking cool.
Fluff or Nutter?
Again.
Oh, no. Fluff. Not Fluff or Nutter. You need the peanut butter for it to be a Nutter.
But what is the fluff made of?
Marshmallows.
So it's like Cool Whip, kind of.
No, Cool Whip is whipped cream. Marshmallows
what? What is Cool Whip?
It's Cool Whip. It's a whipped cream.
It's only whipped cream. There's nothing else added to it?
Like sugars and shit.
I don't eat that shit,
It's
dude.
literally in the name. You asked me what
so
Cool Whip is. It's whipped
Yeah,
cream.
so it's in the names. What the fuck's a marshmallow?
A marshmallow is just like coagulated sugar. Like poofy.
It's what kind of sugar?
Coagulated. I don't fucking know. This has become the worst food podcast you guys have ever
Oh, it's kind of
experienced.
like the dude from Stay Puft Man. Well, never mind, he's a marshmallow.
He's a marshmallow, dude. He's not a Cool Whip.
When they blow him up, he's like the stuff everywhere.
It's what happens when you heat up sugar puff.
It gets like
It gets like gooey.
liquidy.
You've never had a fucking s'more. So yeah, so what you do,
Doesn't
you
interest
put
me.
the s'more over a campfire, heat that bitch up.
Okay.
And then when you put it on the graham cracker with the Hershey's, and you can do Hershey's with almond to add a little spice to your life, or a Kit Kat, whatever you decide, whatever chocolate candy
I
you
like
would
Hershey
prefer.
with almonds.
Hershey's with almonds is the superior
Yeah.
Hershey bar,
I
for
agree
sure.
with that.
Because Hershey's are boring as fuck. The only time you should buy Hershey's is if you're doing s'mores. But also you can do like a Reese cup, because I know you're a Reese cup guy. I know you don't like sweets, but we all know you love you some Reese
A
cups.
Reese cup with a graham cracker and a marshmallow?
would be fucking delicious. Because it's all hot, and you get that. You heat up the marshmallow, but it'll catch on fire, so it'll just turn black, but it won't be quite hot enough yet.
Then I got to put
Then
that
you-
shit in my mouth?
Yeah, you put that shit on the sandwich like this, and then it's just all squishy and gooey, and it melts your chocolate a little bit.
Hold on. So the marshmallow is alone on the stick.
Alone on the stick over a fire.
When I bring it back,
It's on fire.
I
half the
then
time.
apply the
It to the
graham
sandwich.
cracker and the chocolate.
Yeah, you kind of make a sandwich, and then you
That
pull it off.
sounds like a fucking ordeal.
It's white people stuff, dude. We love
Yeah,
that shit.
I'm not fucking with that.
But when we go camping one time, we're going to do s'mores.
I'm not gonna do that.
Sure, why not? We'll do like a Friday the 13th fan requested fucking camp trip, and then everybody has to do s'mores.
Who's everybody?
I think there's a couple people that like us.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys would do it, right? Would you guys go on a s'mores Friday the 13th themed camping trip with your boys here? Dude, we are 30 minutes
Yeah.
into this episode of the stuff. The movie is what it is, man. Have you seen Halloween 3 season of the Witch? Have you seen The Blob? And have you seen They Live? If so, it's got marshmallow in it, and it attacks people.
Yeah. So it's pretty much the same concept.
Do you like the main character? Do you like...
Love him.
So he was...
Mo?
Yeah, Mo. Because every time people hire me, they always want Mo. He is this sleazy guy. And at first he gives you like used car salesman vibe.
Yeah. When he first walks in, touch everybody's hand.
Yeah, he's like, oh, fucking clammy ass hand, clammy ass hand, clammy ass
Yeah,
hand.
I'm like, dude, get
I'm
the
like,
fuck off,
this
man.
guy could sell some Toyotas, boy. So he is this he basically will be hired to do investigations against big companies so he can then get them shut down or unrun. They're hired by their counterparts or their competition. So the ice cream companies hired him to go after the stuff because nobody knows what the fuck the stuff is, how it's made, what it's made out of. And then it also shows, it's also a shot at the FDA because it basically says that like if it's not a pill and if it doesn't say that it's good for you, they don't care what's in it. They don't need to know how it's being made. And then they use the reference of like Coca-Cola and how they've protected their syrup and I'm sure like KFC and different places like that. But it shows how little the FDA gives a fuck about people, which in the 80s, I'm sure was like wild to hear. Now we're like, yeah, that's fucking status quo. We all know that. But it was crazy because that's what he's going against is the machine of American consumerism, which is an interesting concept in my opinion. But then there's a bunch of little side quests. You have, what's his name? The chocolate chip cookie guy? It's like Curtis.
I think it's Chocolate Chip Charlie.
Chocolate Chip Charlie. He's my favorite character in this movie.
So he's a play on like Famous Amos.
Famous Amos. You know, Famous Amos was on an episode of Shark Tank.
I did not know
with
that.
another cookie because he got bought just like
so
Charlie.
that
Very
aspect
similar.
is
Yes.
based on that.
Yeah.
What happened in reality?
What happened in reality? Famous Amos, Mr. Amos, ain't famous no more because his cookie recipe and cookies got stolen right from him.
Damn.
And those were my favorite bags of cookies to get from the vending machine.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good old Famous Amos bag, man. You fucked them. They're never not good. The perfect amount of crunch. There's like 10 of them.
A little
yellow bag.
glass of milk to go with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was usually in school, so I'd have to get my chalky milk container. But you best believe it. I will throw down on a couple glasses of chalky milk, hence the Nesquik that goes in my smoothie.
So do you prefer chocolate or strawberry milk?
I prefer chocolate milk.
Okay.
You're probably a strawberry guy, kind of like the ice cream sandwich or the ice cream story we just had outside about ice cream trucks.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
just had this conversation. Clearly, we're food-oriented guys over here because
You've been
this is
talking about
insane.
food all day.
30 minutes. Then there's this crazy, so this kid goes downstairs in the middle of the night like any other kid would, usually break open the refrigerator and grab you a couple swigs of milk that's not going to cost you 20 grand. And he sees the stuff, but it's crawling out of the container. Then his dad shows up and he's like, why are you being so loud? I thought you were a burglar.
Yeah, his dad is furious.
Just immediately mean, which I don't know if you guys fans, dads were mean. They didn't have all these rules and protections for their kids back in the day. I related heavily to this
I
scene
thought you were a burglar?
because it was just like aggression out of nowhere. Like the kid was just downstairs looking at some food. And he's like, hey, like, I don't think we should eat that stuff. And he's like, oh, you just wanted some stuff. Go to bed. He's like, all right, I'm going to go to bed so I don't get my ass whooped. Because that was, you're probably getting the belt if you keep talking.
Yeah.
So he is now anti-stuff. All it took for this kid.
Yeah. Just
was
that one
thing. Which in my little kid brain, I would have just been like, yo, I need to get some sleep. Because, like, I just saw some craziness.
He's on a crusade now.
He got a mission. He got a message and a mission from the ice cream companies themselves, I guess, because he was so anti-stuff. Next morning, the family wakes up. Everybody's about the stuff, and they're like, the stuff is good. Not quite as bad as later on. But then he's like, I don't want breakfast. And the mom was even like, yo, I'll just sunny side up you some scrambled eggs. And I was like, those are two different types of eggs, ma'am. But all right, how do you sunny side up some scrambled eggs? You're going to scramble the sunny side ups and make them scrambled. Anyway, I digress. I'm a food critic, I guess. I watched The Bear both seasons, so clearly I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm still getting through that first season.
So and then he's like, he's supposed to go to school, and the dad's also just being a dick again. Like, you've missed 3 days of schools this year. I don't care how shitty you feel. You're not going to give me that your tummy hurts shit, which reminded me of my grandparents because their rule was if you can't go to school, you can't have any fun outside of school.
Yeah, you can't.
And it was
can't live your life today.
It was like not just that day. It'd be like days. So if you call, you're like, man, I'm kind of puking on a Tuesday. You ain't going outside till the next fucking weekend because it was just like they had this mentality of like, this is what you need to do. This is how it goes. Where it's like, bro, I'm just not feeling it today. Like you ain't never felt. No, they're like, you have to go to work even if you got a hole in your arm or you have 3 broken ankles even though you have 2 ankles. You have to do shit. So this movie is very era correct in my opinion. So the kid, I guess, just says, fuck it. He doesn't go to school. Where does he go, Jake?
The grocery store.
He goes to the fucking grocery store and has his way with the stuff. And what's crazy about the stuff is, does it need to be refrigerated? Who fucking knows? Is it usually found in the refrigerator? Yes. Is it usually found in the refrigerator section? Yes. But it is also just stacked up and on random aisles?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So he just starts going at it. And first he sees this little kid just eating the stuff, and he's like, no, and just takes it from this little kid. The mom's like, yo. And then he just goes crazy inside of the store. because he really hates the stuff.
He saw it move one time at 4 o'clock in the morning, which he could have seen by mistake.
That's what I'm saying. Could have been the lighting of the refrigerator. Who knows?
But
Also, he did see it spilled out, and then when his dad was there, it was like back in the container perfectly. So I would have questioned a little bit, But he did see it. Did it make a noise? Maybe, I don't know. But it's crazy because the stuff is bad, but everybody loves the stuff. The stuff is delicious. Like he said, it makes you fucking feel better.
Yeah,
You don't need sleep. You don't need food. You just eat this.
yeah, because as the commercials tell you, it is irresistible.
Yeah, it's irresistible.
And enough is
enough.
Never enough.
Is never enough. Just like this.
Yeah, but they're like fucking like consuming this stuff.
Yeah, for them saying you're not hungry, you really want some more stuff all the time.
Yeah, you're not eating anything else but the stuff.
Yeah, and like
You see fridges full of just the stuff, and that's it.
houses full of
Yeah,
stuff.
you guys don't cook anymore.
Yeah,
You don't drink anything anymore.
that's what's crazy, man. It's like you wouldn't do it. What if it wasn't sweet? What if it was just like good? You know what I mean?
No.
Like, what if it was just like, that's
Oh,
good.
this tastes pretty good.
Yeah, but not like overly sweet. What if somehow the stuff matched your taste buds perfectly for each individual person? It didn't have a necessary taste, but it tricked you into being like, if you're a salty guy, it would be like pretzels. You know what I mean? Maybe that's how it was so addictive, because you find out that the stuff is
I
something.
mean, that does make sense actually.
Yeah,
There's
because I don't think that many
no
people
artificial
would love,
flavoring.
Yeah, I don't think that many people would love the sweet. Like you just by look, you're assuming that it's gonna be sweet. Everybody, all they ever said was, "This is good."
True. It never
We
said it
don't
was
know
sweet.
what it actually tasted
Yeah,
like.
that's a good
It was
point.
just the stuff. So I'm thinking, like, whatever your like, if your favorite thing in the whole wide world is like a fucking filet mignon, it's just
Yeah.
like a fucking.
You're gonna try it, and
tastes
your
like.
brain's gonna tell you
Yeah.
that's what it tastes like. So you're gonna fucking just
You're just
consume
gonna
it.
consume it. Or like for us coffee addicts, if that shit tastes like some fucking delicious coffee, bro, I ain't stopping.
Mm.
You don't have to make it. You just.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I think that's why the stuff was the stuff. Then, throughout the movie, you find this little town, too, of where stuff creators, I guess. People that were involved in this stuff early on would go. And it's that's where you meet the Chocolate Chip Charlie.
Yeah.
And also, he can do kung fu.
He thinks he can do kung fu. Yeah.
Also, so does our Mo. Mo can throw down on some kung fu, too. Because he was banished out of the FBI, we found out.
Was it for something kung fu related?
Had to have been. They're like, dude, your kung fu sucks. Can you please stop? He's like, never. Yeah. It's like, dude, you got to go. I'm sorry. That's not how we do things here at the FBI anymore. Then they find
Anymore.
they find this guy that was a top guy. I think he was like he was the FDA guy, right? The guy with the dog. I think that because he had all the files.
Oh, yeah,
on it
the
and
files
stuff.
up, yeah.
His
Yeah,
dog is this demon dog who looks and sounds terrifying. I don't know my dogs. I'm going with like Doberman Pinscher though.
What's weird is he acts as if he's afraid of the dog at first, but then once Mo leaves, he seems like they're in cahoots, and he's about to go give him some stuff.
No, he's in. The dog is controlling the situation. You have to keep feeding him stuff, or he wants to eat you. But also, did you notice that he was only like aggressive towards his owner?
Yeah.
He was never aggressive towards Mo because Mo didn't have the stuff.
Oh.
That's the only explanation for that. I think animals on the stuff know the stuff is in you, so they want to eat you because it's in you. And they're like,
true,
I need
yeah.
more.
That's a good
And
point.
you have more.
Yeah.
Because I would have, like, if you change that scene the other way, it still works. Like, this guy doesn't have the stuff. That's why the dog doesn't like the guy. But that dog wore the pants in that relationship because it then attacks his owner when he runs upstairs when he didn't get him the stuff or something. That scene's not the best. It's not the most confusing. It's probably one of the most confusing
Yeah.
parts in the whole
That was a
movie.
little weird, yeah.
And also you met this female character that was in here who also, Season of the Witch, just immediately reminded me of that. But she was the person behind the ad. She was the creator of the catchy, fun, this is the stuff. So she's kind of blaming herself. And
I don't
wants
know
to
why.
help.
I mean, she didn't know what the stuff was.
She didn't know what the stuff was. She knew that enough was never enough
That's all she needed to know.
of the stuff.
She probably made that up.
I know. It's a great tagline. Enough is never enough of the J Squared Horror Podcast. It doesn't quite flow as well, but
I mean, it's so true.
it is very true. Enough is never enough of the J Squared Horror Podcast. So there's like there's missions. So he then decides that Chocolate Chip Charlie is going to go to DC to try to meet the FBI guy because the FBI guy's not going to trust Mo because Mo did kung fu for all these years, and and so then they're like, where does this mail go? It goes to this place in Georgia, and you're like, okay, this is probably where that mine was, which is where the stuff was found. So then this is where it just takes the complete Halloween 3 season of Witch turn, which is like they're all like walking through there as like people that would be, because she was the creator of the video, and he's like taking pictures, like stop taking pictures, and he is just blatantly taking pictures of them in their face because one thing you know is you always need Mo.
Yeah, he's gonna give you all that
balls you need. The size of Texas. And made out of steel. This guy does not cower in any situation throughout this whole movie. He never looks scared, frightened.
No.
He always has a plan. He talks interestingly. His mouth doesn't match his words always, which if you're like me or Jake, it drives us absolutely insane. And if you've ever seen it on the podcast, I'm so sorry. It's really tricky to edit. But he has an interesting sounding voice, so you immediately know it's him talking. Also, he looks like he's 7'4" in this movie. He looks massively tall. So I went on IMDb and looked. 6'3". He's your height. He's just a skinny guy. So he's just got that gangly feel to him.
Okay.
Like when he's getting in and out of cars, it's like the Slender Man just creeping in and out of that thing. So they take a private jet down or wherever to Georgia, I guess down because they were in Virginia. That's where the one town was.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Hey, shout out VA.
Good old VA.
Whoop, whoop. We're just a bunch of ghost towns. That's what they look like in the 80s. Let's go to Virginia. It's just one guy at a gas station. Just that's it. Put $20 in it. I'm like, that shit'll get you a mile and a half nowadays. It's really showing its timestamp. They fly down there and they do the Halloween 3 season of the witch thing. Like they go and then they get to stay. I mean, this is almost like shot for shot. Like copy of Halloween.
Because they're going through the actual factory.
They go through the factory and people are being weird. They're like, you can't see how it's actually made.
Part you can't go to.
Then they're like, hey, we got a hotel for you right up the street. You're good. We'll take you there. And they go stay. Luckily, they get a full night's sleep. And then in the morning, it seems, the pillows are the stuff. And the mattress is the stuff. So he gets like alien face sucker.
So that made no sense to me.
Yeah.
Was the stuff in the pillow?
Yeah, it must have
and
been.
in the bed?
Yeah, just waiting.
Waiting for what?
That I don't know. Because then after it attacks his face, and then she's like, I'm gonna light it on fire. And I'm like, finally a good thought in one of these old horror movies. And I'm like, that makes sense in my head.
Yeah.
It works. But then a random guy runs inside like gung-ho about stopping the stuff, but then stopping them from hurting the stuff. But then the stuff doesn't give a shit and kills him.
Yeah.
It's like the stuff has no rules. It's just its own little entity. Yeah. So which is giving you the blob feel. You know, it's like this stuff doesn't necessarily make sense.
Yeah, he's the second person when talking to Mo to say, leave us alone.
Leave us. So they're all like of one brain.
Yeah.
It would seem, which makes you think of obviously other movies.
But then that thing
it fucked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting just covered on the wall.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we're going to burn it. I'm like, I would have left personally. Yeah. Like, it's not worth my time or energy to worry about
I'm pretty
this
sure we're done at this
and
point.
he's like, flipping up upside down and stuff. You know, Nightmare on Elm Street, if you will. Just flipping around.
So remind me of that and The Thing.
And The Thing. Yeah. Yes. I was going to say that too. It does give you, I don't want to say The Thing because The Thing is actually a very good movie. Sure. And I don't want to bring it down. Yeah. That's why I can easily say season 3 or Halloween season 3 of The Witch. Or Halloween season of The Witch. And then also, like, I haven't actually ever seen The Blob, but, you know, fuck yeah, I kind of get it.
I think it's pretty good.
I've never actually watched the original Blob. I've only seen clips of it in movies of talking about the Blob. So it did give you that. The kid, mind you, gets kidnapped after his family turns completely on him and he eats some shaving cream, makes his tummy upset. And then he just gets kidnapped on a plane to Georgia, and that's just cool. Nobody's asking any questions.
I mean, there's no one that cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. But then he gets left on the plane, and the pilot somehow gets stuffed. Do you remember how that happened? Did they just come through the vents, or
maybe he's already stuffed? I don't know.
Oh, the pilots were pre-stuffed?
They could be pre-stuffed, yeah.
And then he's like, I'm out of here, and he runs, and then he gets the genius idea they have these like gas trucks, like the big tanker
Yeah,
trucks.
that was the dumbest fucking
and
idea.
he's like, they're walking around the truck and he's trying to hide. So he climbs on top of it. And I'm like, great idea. If you just lay down, most people aren't going to see you. I would have just closed the latch so they wouldn't have had to think that they had to go up there too close. No, he decides to climb into the container, which if you use even the youngest of brains, you kind of can do process of elimination of what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
But I don't think he realized he would lock it, and he locked it on him. But also, fun fact about those trucks, did you know that they aren't completely open? Because if they were completely open, all that liquid would cause it to flip or like be super wonky. So there's actually walls in those tankers, so that way a massive rush of water can't happen at any time.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's actually very inaccurate inside of it. Also, you can tell later on when the stuff's attacking him, it is probably some of the worst CGI green screen shit that's going on.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Bad. It is bad. This whole movie has done pretty good, and I don't know, like, practical versus not even, I think it would be green screen back then, which I guess is like technically a CGI. Most of the movie's fine. Like, the stuff, obviously, you can tell isn't necessarily always perfect. And, like, when it comes in and out of people, and then they look like they got the ring.
Their jaws are super elongated. Yeah.
Comes out. He's in there, and he's just bouncing around, getting driven over there. And they steal a truck and then go to the area because they're like, this is ending tonight. We're gonna win because they're never gonna expect us. And I'm just like, this is just it's like Halloween 3, man. Season of the Witch was just like 3 years prior, man. This is just, it's painful. And he stole a costume, an outfit. I didn't see that happen.
He already had one.
He had it all folded up nicely in his backpack,
Which is very strange.
I thought it was funny that the lady even commented, like, I wonder why you like had to grab that backpack versus my purse. Like,
so
repeat that sentence. Your purse.
Don't know where he had it from because it was missing the Stuff logo on.
Yeah, he just had a perfect yellow. Maybe that was like status quo in the 80s. Everybody walked around with some
yellow
80s jumpsuits.
But then one guy notices, hey,
So you don't get confused with Michael Myers.
I don't see a Stuff logo on his jumpsuit. And
Wait
he
a
falls
second.
behind him.
Where are you going, buddy?
Then Mo uses his kung fu, takes his hat.
And he just looks at the hat, and I'm like, there, you're going to blend in better if you put it up. No, he puts it on the front of the truck. And I'm like, what was this scene's purpose?
Yeah.
I thought he was getting more into character.
Yeah.
Nope. Just showing off those kung fu scenes off screen. It's just like the Batman. Pow.
Yeah.
And it's great because then just he's walking past the truck that the kid was in. And the kid's like, it's going to get me or something along those lines. And he's like, I got you, kid. Don't worry. And he just starts just tearing these truck drivers up, man. And the whole time I'm thinking like, okay, so the girl's there, but she kind of got messed up for a little bit. And I was like, ooh, it's going to be exactly like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, where like this whole time she's been full of the stuff. But they went with a different character. But that's a little bit later.
Yeah.
Because he knows of this army guy. What was the point in that?
No idea.
I feel like this movie could have been done in like an hour 20.
Honestly, all that could have been skipped.
Just completely skipped.
Or he could have just went directly to his house.
Yeah. It was a lot.
The fact that he felt he needed proof.
Yeah, they had to go back and fight the stuff with the army guys.
Yeah.
And he's also like super not a good, he's in his ways. I guess
It's weird because he seems like he would be a hero type character.
No. He's a shit character.
Because of, he's a general, I guess, whatever he is.
He's a colonel.
Whatever.
Sanders.
And he says some questionable things to
At best.
a few people.
At best. He's also making the moves on Mo's girl the whole time. Since she walked in front of him, he's like, she gonna be mine, and I don't care what you have to say about it. Because he was like, you're gonna be target practice. And I was like, damn.
Ugh.
That's kind of, jeez. And then they go back and fight the stuff, but the stuff is smarter than you. Somehow it became a very smart and tangible monster.
Which I guess,
Which throughout this whole movie, it had just been kind of in and out of people.
Yeah, I feel like you would know it's smart for the fact that early in the movie when it was out of the refrigerator, it went back in
his container. Yeah, so it's not the dumbest stuff in the world, but it's also way smarter than you assumed. Because it's like, you can't kill us if we kill everyone. Which is basically what it did. It evacuated all the people that it was in, which kills them.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't. Because the guy with the dog woke up later and like wiped his mouth.
What?
You don't remember that?
No.
Yeah, dude. After he gets evacuated, no, it was either him or the guy at the gas station. One of those two.
Oh, the gas station guy.
Gas station guy.
Yeah, because you see him later.
Evacuates him, and he is like Superman. Because that's when the first time that Mo and Chocolate Chip Charlie see the stuff exiting, and they're like, he's like, "You're really gonna go after it?" And I would have been like, "No, I was just gonna go out the window because this guy's scary looking." But yeah, he like wakes up and wipes his mouth. So like, I don't know if it killed. I don't understand it. Massive plot hole. I mean, massive plot hole where it's like, does it kill these people when it evacuates? Which would make sense, but also that guy woke up, wiped his mouth, and probably got some more stuff.
True.
So I don't know. That part doesn't make any sense because, I mean, that helps with this part because all these stuff guards, if you will, they are dead. They've been evacuated and they're dead.
Once it's in your system, because they shot some of them,
It comes out.
it
like
comes
blood.
out. The stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So how did it leave your system and you do anything afterwards?
Yeah. I don't get it either, but that guy did, and I was the only person in the entire movie that did that.
He's the only one who had to figure it out.
He's like, I'm going to go get some more. Maybe it didn't fully evacuate. It was just some of it. To
To a
prove a point.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, to prove a point. We're going to make this guy look dead. It's going to get us out of here. Get us out of Dodge, if you will. Then they're like, he's like, I have a radio station that broadcasts in Atlanta, which, you know, they're in Georgia. So this is at least adding up. Also, shout out to radio and podcasts. Woo! We could save the world one day.
One day.
Because so many people listen to shows. So thank you guys. The radio station, then, you know, Chocolate Chip Charlie had been in D.C. this whole time, and he finds them very easily. And his reasoning is not very good.
Oh, he doesn't give a reason.
He's just like, I know people.
Yeah, he asked him.
That's like all he says.
He asked him if he want to hear a long story, and he's like, no.
Oh, yeah. He's like, do you want... Yeah, no, I'm good. We don't got
No,
time.
I don't.
We're trying to save the world from...
Just say how you got here.
Nope. And he's like, he's same old Chocolate Chip Charlie.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. He's acting the exact same way he was earlier with last time we saw him.
Exact same. And he's like, it couldn't get me or something. And then they're like, him and the girl go off to a room, and then everybody else is in another room, and then he's like,
Yeah.
And he has like the most aggressive stuff exiting. But it was a lot of stuff. It wasn't the normal amount of stuff. It was a lot of stuff.
It was a lot.
So that stuff was really pissed off at Chocolate Chip Charlie for trying to shut them down. Because he becomes, he turns into a pile of flesh, though. Everybody else is a corpse. He's a pile of face and like shoulder.
Yeah, it broke him.
Yeah, it completely decomposed his body versus just exiting out of the mouth.
Yeah.
Which also, where's the consistency here, guys?
None.
But once again, we said it at the very beginning, corny 80s horror, guys. You're not expecting it to be a Spielberg film, all right? It's no Christopher Nolan. You know, there's no deeper meaning. It's just what it is. It's the stuff. And they broadcast after a crazy little electrocution thing, which I would have thought if you cut that big of a power cord and then shocked it like that, I'm not questioning any of that, but wouldn't the power to the building probably be out, or the equipment that you need to use?
I guess depends on
It was a thick boy.
what that power source is.
I mean, I would imagine if it would be main of some sort because of the depth, the thickness of it. Like, it's a thick wire.
It could be.
And it also, like, he cuts it, and it's just like normal wire. Then when he picks it up, it's like massively frayed.
Hey, man.
And I'm like, these, they're killing it on the consistency game in this movie. It's probably top tier. So then they it cuts to they do relay the message, and then it cuts to I don't think it gives a timestamp of how much longer.
No.
Let's just call it 6 months just
Okay.
to be safe. And everybody's burning the stuff. The stuff's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw the stuff. We didn't need the stuff anyway. And then you find out that homeboy, Mo, and the kid are still not done with their mission yet because Mo is at the ice cream guy's house. Then you find out that he's working with the stuff. No, he's at this other guy's house. And you find out that they're now working in cahoots together, and it's called The Taste now.
Yeah. Where it's like only 12%.
12% of the stuff.
So enough
and the rest is ice cream.
Yes, enough to get you addicted.
Yep.
But not take over your body anymore.
Genius.
I mean, it is.
If you ask me, it's genius. But they're not having it. So somehow the kid comes around the corner and he's like, I'm not a kid anymore. I've seen some shit. Definitely have, buddy. Your whole family tried to kill you. But it's also the 80s. It's just status quo, bud. Toughen up, Buttercup. Because now you're with a strange guy and a woman. And I don't know if they're together anymore because he's a player, that Mo guy, because everybody needs Mo. and they feed them the stuff.
But what does that do exactly?
I don't know.
Because you just see them just like consuming it.
They eat all of this stuff.
And then we're done with it.
Yep. And then you find out that the stuff is now a drug.
Yeah.
It's like crack.
Yeah. And
People selling it on the streets.
And that's it.
That's the movie, guys.
Yeah.
That's the stuff. So, this was crazy. This episode was pure insanity. I hope you enjoyed it.
I mean, the stuff is insanity. So
The stuff is crazy, and there's never enough of the stuff.
Yeah.
Or us rambling about random shit during our podcast.
There's definitely never enough of that.
There's never enough of that. I mean, it was fun. I had a blast. So
Yeah.
What anything else you wanted to add or take away from this here?
No.
The stuff.
I think I am
All right.
good.
All right. On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate the stuff? 1985.
On a scale from 1 to 10, the stuff is a 6.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you think?
I was gonna say 6.5. So we're right there together.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it is fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's what it is. It's fun. I
Yeah.
can separate the fact of I know what they were doing when they did it. I don't think it was meant for a serious note. But it is very cookie cutter copying at times.
Yeah.
But it's the stuff, man. They got a fun song. They got fun actors. Fun little storyline, I guess.
Yeah.
Keeps you entertained for the hour and some change that it's on. I wish there was a stuff too. They should remake the stuff as like a makeup product that attacks women or something. I don't know. There's ways to do this. But it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun. It was exciting because I like shitty movies sometimes, as long as they know their place in horror.
Yeah.
That's why I want a stuffed T-shirt, because that's just awesome. The first time I watched this movie, I was with my mom. Randomly, like when we were podcasting, like
Yeah.
we were still I'd never seen it prior to podcasting.
Yeah.
I was like, "What's this?" And we watched it. And I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta text Jake." And you're like, "Yeah, dude, I know this stuff." I was
Yeah.
like, "How do you know this stuff? How does this exist? Why have I never seen this stuff before?" So thank you guys so much for always listening into our rambling and our episodes about stuff. Next week, we do also again know what we're going to cover. Jake, let the people know what we're going to be covering next week.
Next week, we are covering Fallen
Yes. What year?
in the 90s somewhere.
It's got Denzel Washington and a bunch of actors and actresses that you do know today.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot different than anything we've covered thus far. We're changing pace a little bit to see how we can cover a movie like that. We are excited. Definitely more crime-based than horror-based, but there's also a spooky factor to it. So I'm super excited to cover it. As always, a big shout-out to our main supporters, them being Jeff Balance, who does our design work, Lucky Riggs, who does our intro and our outro music, Trademark Printing, who does our printing needs when we need them. Also, big shout-out to Jake for being the world's greatest co-host a guy could ask for.
Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. If you guys want, comment down below whatever, the 10 things we asked you to comment earlier. Crunchy peanut butter is better than creamy. With that being said, this is the Chase Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
You guys have a great week. And remember, it's hip to be squared.